Hi guys! So this is my first official video with this new camera. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, so I apologize if the lighting isn't real great and all of that. I'm still trying to figure it all out, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. So I'm gonna be doing a wrap up for the Diversathon that happened, I think it's been a couple weeks ago now. I did upload my vlog from the week so that you can see how I did and see what I read in that video if you want to, but I just wanted to do this video to go into a little bit more detail about each book and what I thought of it. I didn't keep track of page count and all of that. I don't really do that with readathons. I just pay attention to how many books I read and completed. I read the 3 main books that I wanted to read from my TBR video if you want to watch that too. So I was really happy with the 3 books that I read. You know, the goal is to read as much as you can in 1 week's time. I wish I had been able to read a little bit more, but it's all good because, like I said, I got the 3 books done that I really wanted to. So I'll go in the order that I actually read these books. The first one is We Need New Names by Violet Bulawayo. This one is about a young girl who lives in Zimbabwe. She's 10 years old, and the first half of the book is just about her life there and her family and her friends, but all the while she's kind of dreaming of coming to America, and she sees America as this kind of safe haven, I guess. And then the second half of the book, she actually ends up going to America. So then the book takes on kind of her experiences living in America compared to back home in Zimbabwe. Obviously, this book is important in dealing with how people from other countries view America, how they feel once they actually get here. And I think this book did cover some important topics like that. However, I can't say it's one of the best books that I've ever read. If you watched my Diversathon vlog, you'll see that I really struggled with getting into this book. It was just, I'm not sure exactly what it was about it. I didn't feel a deep connection to it like I wanted to. So I think that was kind of what was missing for me. A lot of the scenes in this book were really just bizarre and seemed out of place, I think. I didn't understand the point of them or the significance, and one of those scenes was actually the very last one in the book, and to leave off on that kind of note, I just didn't love that. Didn't enjoy this book a whole lot, but I didn't hate it at the same time. As far as recommending it, I don't know whether to say I recommend it or not because I'm sort of on the fence about it, as you can probably tell. I ended up giving it a 3 stars. Then I picked up The Revised Fundamentals of Caregiving by Jonathan Evison. This is another one I'm kind of on the fence about. I will say that the first half of the book I didn't really love or enjoy that much, but the second half of the book I absolutely adored, and I wish the entire book had been like the second half. So let me explain. First of all, just to tell you what this is about, it's about this man named Ben who basically is at this point in his life where he's kind of lost everything that he cares about and he kind of needs a drastic change, so he decides to become a caregiver. This book is about Ben and his very first client, Trevor, who has muscular dystrophy, and it's about their relationship, and it's a road trip novel, which is really cool, and that's the part I loved about this book. So now that you know what it's about, the first half of the book was more focused on the main character, Ben, and his life, which that's the part I didn't like because Ben isn't the most likable character, to be completely honest. His narrative is just such a typical middle-aged white male narrative. It was just extremely annoying, and the way that he thought about women and talked about them was kind of appalling. He's had some horrible things happen to him and I feel for him, but he's just not a likable dude. Because the first half of the book was so heavily focused on him and his whining, wasn't a huge fan of that. However, in the second half of the book, it really picks up and starts focusing more on Trevor and their road trip that they take together, and that part of the novel was phenomenal. So with all of that said, I did really like this book. I obviously have some major complaints, major issues, but I gave it 4 stars, and it is one that I would recommend. Just be warned of those things that I mentioned going into it. The last book that I read was Good Kings, Bad Kings by Susan Nussbaum. It's one of my favorite books of 2017 already. So yeah, it was really good. This one is about, I want to read you one of the lines from the synopsis because it just perfectly describes the book. It is about an institution for juveniles with disabilities. You get a bunch of different perspectives from either patients there at the institution or people that work there or people that are just somehow related to the institution or the kids there. One thing I really loved about this book is that you're getting all these different perspectives, and each perspective that you get, like their voices were so distinct, so you had no trouble telling them apart. Usually when you have a book that has multiple perspectives, that can be an issue where they kind of bleed together and you forget whose perspective you're reading from at the time. This one was not like that at all. Each character was so unique and so diverse and just great. I just loved everything about this book. It had it all. It was funny. It covered serious topics and did it well. It made you feel all kinds of different emotions. It was just so good. I highly recommend this book. I want everyone to read it. As I'm sure you can tell, I gave this book 5 stars. So these are the 3 books that I read. Enjoyed them all for the most part. I mean, this one was definitely the best one. I read them all pretty quickly. This one took me a while to get into. I read this one in one night. I think I started it at like 7 p.m. and read it until I finished it that night. And this one I read the majority of it in one day as well. So I was proud of what I read. I'm happy with it. I would love to know how you guys did with the Diversathon, if you participated. I hope you guys had fun with it. I had a blast. So it's been a really long time since I've participated in a readathon. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.